welcome to an exciting evening of Deep South Championship Wrestling. We have a very special surprise for you coming up here in your first match, a match that has yet to be advertised. We have from World Class Championship Wrestling, the World Light Heavyweight Champion, Flamboyant Eric Embry. Now, he's the only world champion to defend his title throughout different divisions, and he's here tonight to defend his title against a young man from Jonesboro, Georgia, the #1 junior heavyweight in the Deep South area, ranked #1 in the nation for the national junior heavyweight title. That's Dwayne Bruce, and that match will be coming up first.
Nick, if I may, I'd like to take just a moment here to introduce two very prominent young ladies that write for wrestling magazines. Miss Diane Kirkland, who writes for Wrestling Power, Celebrity Wrestling, and Double Action magazines under Editor-in-Chief Mike O'Hara, and also Miss Marty Brown, who writes for Wrestling News out of Mankato, Illinois.
Well, I'm sure it's a pleasure for us to have them here. They've got some great matches coming up they're going to see here tonight with Deep South Championship Wrestling, and as I said, it's a pleasure to have them here with us.
Diane, if I may, could I ask if you've seen Eric Embry before?
Yes, sir, I sure have, and I'm looking forward to this match. It's going to be quite impressive.
Marty, have you seen him?
I've never seen him in person, Rock, but I've seen him a lot of times on TV, and I think this is going to be an extraordinary match because I'm familiar with Dwayne's work.
Well, this is a match that we're all waiting to see now, and we consider it to be a real feather in the cap of Deep South professional wrestling.
Well, Rock, we're underway. World Light Heavyweight Champion Eric Embry, and I've got some interesting facts on Eric Embry. I spoke to him a little bit before the match. He is the only man to have ever held the World Light Heavyweight title twice. He did lose it one time to a young man named Sean Simpson in Reunion Arena last Thanksgiving, and he was able to recapture that title on Christmas night at the same place at Reunion Arena.
This is our first look at Eric Embry, but he certainly has a very good reputation, Nick. And any man that can hold a world-class title, not once but twice, has to be able to back up what his publicity says.
As we said, he's from World Class Championship Wrestling, and he is the only world champion to defend his title throughout other leagues and other divisions. Right now, he's here in Deep South Championship Wrestling. Now, the weight limit for his title is 232.5 pounds, Rock.
Dwayne Bruce is really surprising Eric Embry at this point. I don't think he expected this level of competition anywhere.
Well, Dwayne Bruce is a young man. He's about 10 miles from his hometown. The biggest match of his career against a world heavyweight champion just 10 miles down the road from his home. You know that his adrenaline gland is really pumping right now. They lock up collar and elbow. The world champion Eric Embry goes to the eyes, rakes the eyes at Dwayne Bruce. Nails him with the right hand to the top of the head, backs Bruce into the ropes, fires him off. Beautiful move by Dwayne Bruce, sunset flip, 1, 2. He gets a 2 count on the world champion, Dwayne Bruce. Right back up, looks like he's going for a backslide, and he does. 1, 2, oh, very close. And the young man from Jonesboro, Georgia with another sunset flip, 1. Right now he is all over world champion Eric Embry, and Eric Embry out on the floor. He's going to regroup as a young man from Jonesboro, Georgia, really starting to take it to the world light heavyweight champion Eric Embry.
I can't help but be impressed by Dwayne Bruce's improvement every time I see him, Nick. He shows more wrestling knowledge and better condition, if that's even possible, every time he steps into a ring.
Right before the matches, you introduced us to a couple of fine young ladies that are with us here tonight for this edition of Deep South Championship Wrestling, from some very major wrestling magazines.
That's correct. Marty, if I may ask you, what do you think of this young man, Dwayne Bruce, in against a world's champion for the first time in his life?
Well, I think he's giving us a very good idea of what his strengths are. As far as size and conditioning, they seem to be fairly equal, but I think experience is going to be the deciding factor here.
Well, that's a very good opinion, although upsets can happen. And Dwayne Bruce is a young man that's proven himself to be extremely tough against every opponent.
Good reversal by Dwayne Bruce into a backdrop. Beautiful move. Up with a flying arm drag, and he hooks the arm on Eric Embry. and he cinches up tight, and Dwayne Bruce is really starting to electrify this crowd here tonight, Rock.
Dwayne, as usual, is in peak condition and showing peak form, Nick. I've never seen him step into a ring without having the advantage in condition, at least, and certainly with a great deal more wrestling knowledge than a lot of people give him credit for.
You know, Rock, I'm very proud of young Dwayne Bruce. This is the first graduate of the American Academy of Professional Wrestling to get a world title shot. And he's doing it right here in his own backyard, and he hangs onto the arm as the world champion tries to toss him off, but Dwayne Bruce cinches up tight and takes Eric Embry right back down to the mat. Dwayne Bruce right now really starting to show the world champion what he's made of.
Eric Embry seems to be sort of stunned at this point, Nick. I don't think he really thought he had an opponent that could put him down to the wire like this.
Dwayne Bruce cinched in tight on that arm. He's into the hammerlock on Eric Embry. Embry to his knees. Dwayne now goes back to the bar on the arm, and Embry, a lot of pressure being put on the shoulder and elbow area right now. Dwayne Bruce, as he positions his body weight over the top of Embry. As you can see, Embry slapping at that hand, trying to get a little circulation back into the hand. Dwayne Bruce clamped in hard. Once again, Embry tosses. This time he does toss him off and levels Dwayne Bruce with a clothesline. Now we're going to get a look at the world champion and see what he's got. Rock, and I know his reputation. I have seen him wrestle on numerous occasions. He is a consummate wrestler.
Well, you have the advantage on me at that point, Nick, but I will have to say he exhibits a very solid knowledge of wrestling, all the holds and a lot of the moves. Here he comes off of that second rope, right onto the arm of Dwayne Bruce.
Dove in with a headbutt across the collarbone and the shoulder of Dwayne Bruce. Dwayne Bruce rolls over, trying to get to the ropes, and he's really starting to favor that shoulder now. The world champion cinches in, and he goes for a suplex and completes it. Drives Dwayne Bruce down hard on the mat. World light heavyweight champion Eric Embry defending his title here in the Deep South area, a snap mare. Eric Embry brings Dwayne Bruce over to the mat and sets in with a rear chin lock. And now he's going to try and wear the young man out a little bit, Rock.
Well, if he wears Dwayne Bruce out easily, it'll be the first time in history as far as the history of Dwayne Bruce is concerned. I've never seen anyone tire this young man out completely.
Well, he's a competitor. He works out hard. He trains hard. He's probably one of the most well-conditioned athletes in the sport today. And he's earned this shot at the world champion. Dwayne Bruce with a couple of elbows to the midsection, off the ropes, fine shoulder tackle. Embry goes down, and Embry's starting to back up now. And you can see the fire in the eye of Dwayne Bruce, and he starts to take it to the world champion. Sits in with a front face lock, and the champion, very, very smart, may have set him up for that one, Rock.
I think so, Nick. I think he laid the trap that Dwayne Bruce fell right into, and he just sort of gave him the old slingshot right through the second rope and onto the floor. And Dwayne Bruce is favoring his back now. But knowing Dwayne Bruce, he's coming back into that ring.
Well, he's back up on the apron now. Embry takes over, a rake to the eyes, hits the ropes on the far side, comes off and just unleashes with a big right hand, takes Dwayne Bruce off the apron and down onto the floor. And the world champion now very confident with his ability, as well he should be.
He may be a little too confident, Nick, because you can't walk away and turn your back to a competitor like Dwayne Bruce. He'll be all over you like a fishnet.
Bruce in underneath the ropes, back into the ring, and Embry pours it on. Immediately grabs him in a front face lock and opens up that face area and catches him with a right hand, and it looked to me like a closed fist, Rock.
Well, the champion's not taking any chances now. He knows how tough Dwayne Bruce is.
Dwayne Bruce now starting to get a second win. He turns things around on the world champion, brings him over. There's a pinfall, gets a 1 count out of it. I think he's going to have to wear the champion down a little bit more before he goes for those pinfalls, Rock.
Well, he tried for a small package, Nick, but Eric Embry saw it coming, and he broke the hold before Dwayne Bruce could set it.
World champion Eric Embry once again takes over on Dwayne Bruce, sets in with that rear chin lock. You know, I'm very impressed so far with Dwayne Bruce in this match. He's shown himself very, very well against the world champion.
Both men are impressing me, Nick, and I'd like to ask Diane Kirkland. Diane, have you seen better competition anywhere?
No, sir, I sure haven't. It's amazing to me that you could put on a match like this. This is great.
Dwayne Bruce now fights his way to his feet. It looks like he's trying to get up into that top wrist lock, Rock. And so far, he's been pretty successful. He's up. And Embry turns things around. It looked like he grabbed a handful of hair, fires the young man off, and Dwayne Bruce catches him with a boot. Oh, he goes for the elbow, and Embry moves out of the way. The world's champion right now just one step ahead of Dwayne Bruce. Scoops him up, gives him a big slam, and the world's champion once again has control of the tempo of this match.
Right now, you have to say that's why he is world's champion, Nick, because he's managed to stay ahead of all opponents.
Off the second rope, Dwayne Bruce moves out of the way, and the world champion comes crashing down hard on the mat. And now young Dwayne Bruce with a second win. He's to his feet. He backs the champion into the ropes. He fires him off, and Dwayne Bruce goes to make the move. Beautiful drop kick. The champion goes down, and the champion now is starting to backpedal. I think he wants to try and slow Dwayne Bruce down, Rock.
He would like to, but that's really a task, Nick. Nobody's been able to do it yet.
Look at this beautiful monkey flip by Dwayne Bruce, and he's really turning the tide on the champion. Drops an elbow on Eric Embry. There's the cover. 1, 2. Oh, a 2 count. Dwayne Bruce back to his feet. The world's champion on his knees. Gains control. Goes to fire him off. Good reversal. Another reversal. Dwayne Bruce up on the ropes. Beautiful crossbody. The world's champion rolls through. Looks at, oh no. There's a 3 count. There's a 3 count.
Well, Nick, there's no question of that. Marty, I guess in Mankato, Minnesota, you've seen a match or two at that.
Yes, I have, but this is one of the most exciting ones I've seen in a long time, Rock.
Thank you, Marty.
Very unfortunate break for Dwayne Bruce. First world title shot of his young career, and he did an excellent job because the world champion ended up hooking his tights to score that victory, Rock.
Now, enjoy delicious fried foods without fried food calories. Sound too good to be true? Introducing the incredible Swiss Dry Cooker. A simple, powerful design gives you crisp, deep-fried goodness with just a drop of oil. It seems like an ordinary pan, but look, the secret of the dry cooker is this patented hot air tower. Superheated air rushes up, circulates around the food, cooking quickly, evenly. Dry cooking actually bastes food, not in fattening grease, but in its own rich flavors and aromas. Yes, more flavor than you've ever tasted before with less oil, fewer calories, less cholesterol. Watch. Deep fried chicken cooks because it's surrounded by boiling oil. This batch actually soaked up this much oil. Put chicken in the dry cooker and it's surrounded only by naturally flavored superheated air. With only a drop of oil, turn out crispy, perfect frozen French fries and fish sticks. Bake a cake in a fry pan? Never. But watch. The cooker is so dry you can actually bake on the stovetop. Superheated convection currents bake evenly top and bottom. Dry cook hot dogs, and they taste like they've been barbecued over a hickory fire. But that's still just the beginning. Dry cook vegetables without boiling or steaming. Look at this amazing comparison. This broccoli was boiled. This done in the dry cooker is bursting with color and vitamins. Baked potatoes taste like they've been roasted over a campfire. You can dry roast nuts or prepare a mouth-watering roast. The incredible Swiss Dry Cooker with exclusive hot air tower gives you all the flavor of crisp frying, but almost none of the fattening oils and calories. Order now on this special TV offer for just $19.95. Money back if not delighted. Use your credit card for rush delivery. Here's how to order. For COD and credit card orders, call toll-free 1-800-626-2900. Save the COD charges by sending $19.95 plus $4 shipping and handling to Cooker. Box 2, Lovejoy. Order now. Call 1-800-626-2900. That's 1-800-626-2900.
Write down these important numbers. This is a public service announcement to all fundraising and non-profit making organizations. Deep South Championship Wrestling has several plans to help you raise the funds that you need and bring exciting Deep South Championship Wrestling to your area. Call area code 404-477-2334 or 284-8599. Call weekdays 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Don't miss out on this great opportunity. Remember, 477-2334 or 284-8599.
Would you like to see something really incredible? Then look at this. These are real diamond rings. Perhaps more diamond rings than most people see in their entire lives.
Each beautiful butterfly sculpture is crowned with a genuine quarter-point diamond, specially set and faceted to enhance its luster and magnify its visual impact. Over $9 million worth of diamonds like these have already been sold. And the ring itself is layered entirely in genuine 18-karat gold.
Yet all of these diamond rings, all 1 million of them, will be sold for the astonishing price of only $10 each during this special nationwide publicity campaign.
But that's not all. Here's a special bonus. If you order your ring right now, we'll also give you this matching diamond butterfly pendant for only $5. That's exactly half the price.
Visa and MasterCard orders call toll-free 1-800-228-4667.
Rock, another great match going to ring now. We see young Mark White as he's going to come up against a very crafty veteran that we normally don't see in singles competition, but we're going to see him in singles competition. Coming up here in just a few moments, we see him making his way to ringside. The man's name, the Masked Nightmare, #2. Let's go right now to the ring introduction. This match is one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first from Rome, Georgia, weighing in at 224 pounds, here's Mark White. And his opponent, one half of the Deep South Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, weighing in at 234 pounds. From parts unknown, here is the Masked Nightmare #2. Masked Nightmare #2. Very proud of that belt. The referee signals for the bell. And there it is. The Masked Nightmare #2. One of the most scientific, crafty wrestlers in Deep South Wrestling at this time. He and his partner, Masked Nightmare #1, form possibly one of the top tag team combinations in the world, and he misses on that elbow. Mark White moves out of the way. The Masked Nightmare with a miscalculation there. Good series of moves. He went for the elbow, and young Mark White moved right out of the way.
Dick, you know, it's unusual to see the Masked Nightmares wrestle in singles competition, although they do that on occasion. They certainly don't have to prove to anyone that they're both excellent wrestlers, as evidenced by that wonderful fireman's carry that he just executed there, and comes up with that long arm bar and puts maximum stress on the elbow of Mark White.
Beautiful escape from the hammerlock by the Masked Nightmare. Ends up with a fireman's carry and trapping the arm of Mark White. Good reversal by White. Another spin on the arm, and now White's starting to put the pressure on the Masked Nightmare #2. Rock, the Nightmares have been Deep South Tag Team Champions 5 times, but the competition now is really starting to heat up. They've got two very, very tough, very aggressive teams. We've just seen a little while ago Richard Sartain and Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans, two youngsters that are just on fire right now. They're really starting to rack up a good win streak. And also, what we've seen last week here on Deep South Championship Wrestling, the Botswana Beast and the Psycho together as a combination could be devastating.
Well, I was getting ready to say that the fans of Deep South Professional Wrestling may feel that possibly the reason that there's not tag team competition in this match is because the Masked Nightmares have run out of competition. But as you just named those combinations that appear in Deep South regularly, obviously that's not true. There are too many tag team combinations that want that belt and want to take on the Masked Nightmares. The competition is fierce.
They've been receiving challenges from all over the country, and you can see right now Masked Nightmare #2, very, very aggressive, and he's moved in on the arm of Mark White, and he's trying to destroy that arm right now, Ron. Good move, good leg trip by Mark White. Goes to work on the ankle of the Nightmare. He's going to have to trap that other leg, or he's not going to keep the Nightmare down for very long. As you can see what I mean, the Nightmare's got that other leg in there. He's trying to break up the balance and the leverage of Mark White by spreading those legs.
Well, he definitely broke the leverage because Mark White could not hang on to that foot or ankle And now the Masked Nightmare reversed it and dropped right across the knee joint. He's out to wreck Mark White.
Very, very scientific wrestler, the Masked Nightmare number 2. He'll get in there and wrestle with a man, and when he finds that opening, he moves out after it, and he goes in to destroy it.
Well, as I've said before, the Masked Nightmares are not famous for taking prisoners, Nick.
Right now, right in front of our desk, Rock, we see, oh, right down on the knee of Mark White, and I don't know how much more this young man can take. What a shot to the knee, and the Masked Nightmare is starting to move in for the kill. Look at the spinning toe hold on Mark White. Mark White, he's a game youngster. He's trying to kick out of there. He's going to have to watch those shoulders. A second kick, he can't get the Nightmare off of that leg. A third kick, he's going to try and have to boot him in the face or something, I think, Rock. Finally, he kicks the Nightmare off the leg, but White a little bit slow getting to his feet, and the Nightmare right on him. A kick directly head on to the kneecap, Rock. Devastating move.
I think you could say that's kneecapping a man, Nick. It's just like getting hit across the knee with a 2-foot piece of rebar.
The Nightmare went for a big punch. Mark White moved out of the way, starts to try and make a move on the Nightmare, catches him with a big elbow. Mark White starts to get a second wind, and we're starting to see the youngster really make a move. What an opportunity it could be for him to pull a major upset on the Masked Nightmare. Goes for another cover. He's going to have to hook that leg in real tight to hold that Nightmare down, Rock. The Nightmare is a veteran, and you cannot take any shortcuts. Look at this, beautiful belly-to-back suplex. And that knocks the starch right out of Mark White right there. Total domination right now by the Masked Nightmare. We saw a good flurry from Mark White, but it was not quite enough. And look at this.
A submission, Nick. A guillotine on the mat. A standing grapevine.
Referee signals for the bell. The Masked Nightmare doesn't break the hold. There, he finally breaks the hold. The referee goes to raise his hand. Let's go to the ring announcements, Rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, one half of the Deep South Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the Masked Nightmare number 2.
You give your hand to me,
The beautiful voice
and then you say goodbye.
of Roger Whittaker.
I watch you walk away beside the lucky guy. I saw the heart.
Now you can enjoy the world-famous voice of Roger Whittaker in his all-new collection.
Memory, all alone in the moonlight. I'll be seeing you.
Remember, this beautiful all-new 2-record treasury is not sold in any store.
Use your credit card and save COD charges by calling toll-free 1-800-826-1100 or send check or money order for $12.98 for albums or tapes to Roger Whittaker, P.O. Box 3410, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's Roger Whittaker, P.O. Box 3410, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Look closely, because this beautiful ring is about to become a beautiful watch. Introducing the luxurious Sato Time Ring. Both a beautiful ring and a precision quartz timepiece. The Sato Time Ring is exquisitely layered in your choice of genuine sterling silver or genuine 18-karat gold. Not for the hundreds of dollars you might expect, but for only this astonishing low TV publicity price. And wait, here's a special bonus. If you phone within the next 30 minutes, we'll let you order a second Sato Time Ring for only half price. So hurry.
To order, call toll-free 1-800-262-7757. That's 1-800-262-7757. Call now. 1-800-262-7757.
This is an important message to all athletes, men and women. If you are interested in pursuing an exciting and lucrative career in the world of professional wrestling, then write down this number. The American Academy of Professional Wrestling offers the most progressive methods of cardiovascular training, and weight training. Be trained by big-name professionals. Call now. You won't want to miss out on this great opportunity for a career in professional wrestling. Call the American Academy of Professional Wrestling. And don't forget, call right now.
Roaches, public enemy number one. They come out at night carrying germs and disease. They scurry all over your kitchen and crawl over food. You've tried smelly sprays to get rid of them, but look, roaches can smell too, so they avoid the sprayed areas and keep coming back. Now there's a solution. Roach Kill, the amazing odorless powder with a double your money back guarantee. Write down this toll-free number to order. In scientific tests, the active ingredient in Roach Kill proved 99.5% effective after one use, far superior to spray insecticides. It's easy to use. Just squeeze the powder in hiding places. Roach Kill is odorless, so roaches don't avoid it. They walk through it and carry it back to their hidden nests. There it kills the whole colony.
Pick up your phone and call toll-free to order now. Get extra bottles for garages and basements. Most orders shipped in 24 hours. Order within 24 hours and get a free mystery gift. Call toll-free 1-800-648-6900 for COD or credit card orders. That's 1-800-648-6900 or mail $9.95 plus $3 shipping and handling.
This match is one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 224 pounds, here's Doug Ogle. And his opponent from Chattanooga, Tennessee, weighing in at 230 pounds, here's Jim Boss. One fall with a 10-minute time limit.
Should be a very evenly matched bout here, Rock. Referee signals for the bell. We see Jim Boss taking off his very pretty robe. I like that robe, made of gold sequins. Very flashy, good-looking robe. Good-looking young wrestler, this Jim Boss. He's got quite a physique. He's very powerful. He's got some good moves, but he's coming up against young Doug Ogle, another young man that's got some good moves of his own. Doug comes rushing in there with a locked-up collar and elbow and a little show of strength. Boss using a little of that powerlifting background, and once again, shoves Doug Ogle down to the mat. Boss comes moving in for an elbow, and Ogle moves out of the way. Ogle comes up. Ogle's fired up, gives him a boot to the midsection, grabs both feet, whips it right out of the corner. Doug Ogle goes for an elbow, and Boss moves out of the way. He may have moved in just a little bit too soon for that one, Rock.
I think they were both over-anxious, Nick. And I say both, I mean both athletes, because the level of competition is such that all of these men want to win in the worst way, because that leads them into contention for the Deep South heavyweight title.
Jim Boss again with one of those big knees right across the forehead, right across the face of Doug Ogle. And I guarantee you that'll jar your memory. Beautiful. Doug Ogle ducks under a clothesline, ducks under an elbow, but he didn't get out of the way of that knee. Right in the midsection, Jim Boss catches Doug Ogle with a big knee, comes crashing down with a fist, pulls him out for the cover, but he doesn't pull him out far enough away from the ropes. Doug Ogle gets his feet in the ropes, and Doug Ogle's going to have to do something now to get an opening. Jim Boss takes over, chokes Doug Ogle in the ropes. He's taking advantage of a situation while the man's down, and he's not giving him 1 inch of breathing room.
Doug Ogle has a very profound habit of going to the use of his fists, and there's that right hand, followed by a left, a right, but he wasn't quite strong enough to make them stick, Nick.
A couple of good body shots, but Jim Boss, however, cuts him back off and goes back to that bottom rope attack. He's got Doug Ogle across the bottom rope. Referee Mike Atkins in there tight. He's trying to keep Jim Boss back. He gets him back, and you can see Doug Ogle slow getting up. He's taking quite a few hard shots. Another 2 more hard shots to the head, and Jim Boss has got him in the corner. Boss is just trying to wear him out, trying to club the man down, Rock. We're not seeing a lot of scientific action. Ogle carries the man out of the corner and brings him down with a reverse atomic drop. Takes Jim Boss, backs him into the rope, fires him off, drills him with a big elbow. Boss really starting to show the effects of that reverse atomic drop. It was kind of a questionable move. Very close. Doug Ogle goes for the drop kick. Jim Boss hooks the ropes. Ogle comes crashing down hard on the mat, and now we see Doug Ogle down once again. And did you see that shot to the head with that knee?
And what a shot. But Doug Ogle is in the position he's in, Nick, because of becoming over-anxious. Once again, he went for that drop kick before he knew exactly where his opponent was, and his opponent was able to duck out of the way.
Jim Boss now all over Doug Ogle in the ropes once again. Now he's got him draped over that middle rope. I tell you, it's been hard for Doug Ogle to get any daylight in this match because every time he gets bulled into the ropes, Jim Boss takes full advantage of it. Doug a little slow coming out. Boss charges right in with the attack. A left hand to the midsection. Goes for the Irish whip. Good reversal by Doug Ogle into a beautiful backdrop. This could be the break that Doug Ogle's been needing. Brings Jim Boss to his feet. Backs him in the ropes. Fires him off. Look at that. Low gut shot. Nails Jim Boss. Of course, it was within the legal limits. It wasn't too low, but he's got Boss down. Boss is in a lot of trouble, and Ogle goes right to the arm. He perhaps should have poured a little bit more punishment on at this point, Rock, since he had the man going.
You know, I have to think that Doug Ogle is a very stiff puncher, Nick, because that's quite a body he's throwing those shots into. And to make an impression on the body that Jim Boss has, he has to be able to punch hard.
Well, I've mentioned it in weeks past. Doug Ogle does have a background in boxing, and he does know how to use his dukes when he has to. Look at this. Shoulder breaker, beautifully executed by Jim Boss. There's your cover, and there's a 3 count. And your winner right here on Deep South Championship Wrestling with a devastating shoulder breaker, Jim Boss.
Oh, man. Well, I'm not smoking. And I didn't think anybody could do that.
Cigarette helps you break the nicotine addiction, and it works in as little as 7 days.
I smoked 43 years. I quit just like that.
I thought I was just going to go nuts wanting a cigarette. I never did. I was just wonderful.
5 packs a day for a while. I'm doing great now.
Didn't have the urge to eat anymore.
No way did I want to gain weight, and I was.
When they offered that money-back guarantee, I thought I just have to try it.
No matter how long you've been smoking, with Cigarette you'll quit or your money back. Guaranteed.
Tell them to do what I did. Just order it.
I'd say pick up that phone like I did and call the toll-free number.
Order your cigarettes now. Call 1-800-453-3308 or send $19.95 plus $4 postage and handling to Cigarette, Box 20, Department C, Los Angeles, California. Or call toll-free 1-800-453-3308.
Write down these important numbers. This is a public service announcement to all fundraising and non-profit-making organizations. Deep South Championship Wrestling has several plans to help you raise the funds that you need and bring exciting Deep South Championship Wrestling to your area. Call area code 404-477-2334 or 284-8599. Call weekdays 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Don't miss out on this great opportunity. Remember, 477-2334 or 284-8599.
No. 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 Life can be full of rejections and refusals. Don't you deserve something better? SureCard says sure. You deserve our Sure credit card. And right now, we're issuing a number in your area to people like you. Even if you've never had a charge account and can't get a credit rating, we'll issue you your very own Sure card. There'll be no embarrassing applications, no credit checks, and no refusal. You're sure to be approved, and you're sure to qualify. Now, your only cost is a one-time $20 processing fee, and we'll even bill you for that. Pay it, and you have the credit. Credit to get all kinds of wonderful things direct from SureCard. You don't need to own a home, open a bank account, or give a credit reference. Just pay on time and we'll increase your credit. Soon you could qualify to buy a VCR for just a few dollars a month. Charge a complete computer outfit or buy a brand new kitchen set on credit. And listen, a good Sure rating can be your reference for all those other credit cards you've always wanted. Store credit cards, gas credit cards, even bank credit cards you can use for cash. Even if you already have a Visa or MasterCard, ask for your Sure card and get more credit with no interest charges and no annual fees. Just fantastic products at fantastic prices. They're yours through this entirely new concept in credit. Sure card. But don't send any money. Just call now and we'll even bill you for the $20 processing fee. That's right. Order your Sure card and we'll give you immediate credit. That's for sure. Don't send any money. Just call 1-800-543-8800. We'll bill you for the one-time processing fee. Pay it and your Sure card is approved automatically, even if you've never had a credit card. Call now, 1-800-543-8800. That's 1-800-543-8800. And start building the credit rating you deserve.
Great match in the ring now, 6-man tag team match. This week's main event on Deep South Championship Wrestling, as we see the Deep South Tag Team Champions, the Masked Nightmares, in the ring. And the man that they've revealed as their mystery partner this week, Mahler Ford. Rock, quite frankly, I was expecting Ravishing Randy Rose to be the mystery partner, but I think that maybe the Nightmares anticipated everybody else thinking the same way that I did, and they decided to throw us all a curve, and they've got Mahler Ford in there. Let's go right now to the ring announcements.
This match is 1 fall, TV time remaining, 6-man tag team action. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 465 pounds, the Deep South Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the Masked Nightmares. They are accompanied by their partner, weighing in at 240 pounds from Kansas City, Missouri, Mahler Ford. Their opponents, first from Stevenson, Alabama, weighing in at 230 pounds, here's Richard Sartain. And from the heart of Dixie, weighing in at 233 pounds, the Rock and Roll Rebel, Greg Evans. And their partner from parts unknown, weighing in at 240 pounds, here is the Psycho.
6-man tag team action. Referee Mike Atkins now in the middle, signals for the bell. And we're about to get underway. This should be a super match, Rock. I know that the team of Sartain and Evans have been hot on the trail of the Masked Nightmares now for several weeks. As the Psycho. Now, the Psycho and the Lady Bambi the past couple of weeks have laid a couple ambushes in retaliation to the Masked Nightmares. And we see the Nightmare number 2 and the Psycho locking up, trying to feel each other out. It looked like the Nightmare was going for a single leg. The Psycho was blocking it. The Nightmare now, side headlock. Beautiful head scissors by the Psycho. Whoa, the Nightmare number 1 steps in the ring complaining. Mahler Ford steps in the ring complaining, and he takes a shot. He's going to find out, and you're going to play with guys like this, you're going to have to make a move. You can't be indecisive. You step through those ropes and into the ring, you better be ready to go to battle. And Mahler Ford just found that out.
That's right, Nick. I think he found out, too, that the game just went to hardball.
Well, he may have stepped into a situation here. Well, I'm sure he's capable of handling, but I'm not sure if he fully understands the depth of the emotion in this match. You know, the team of Sartain and Evans, they've been after the Nightmares for a long, long time. They've got several title shots signed and scheduled around the Deep South area. I'd like to mention now at this time that Deep South Championship Wrestling is going to be touring all over the Southeast. We're going to be working with Muscular Dystrophy throughout the month of August and September, so anytime you see Deep South Wrestling, come on down. You're going to see some of the very finest in professional wrestling, plus help a worthy cause. And right now, Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans back in the ring. He's on the Masked Nightmare number 2, and look how he's putting the pressure on the shoulder, Rock.
He's got very good pressure on that long arm bar, Nick, but I think before the evening is over, everyone's going to find out that the Nightmares are just like a toothache. They're always in your face.
Nightmare number 2 took a little shortcut so he could go over there and tag his partner. Nightmare number 1 come charging in, and Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans, very smart, dropped right into a drop toe hold, floated up, and trapped the headlock on the Nightmare, and now the Nightmare's in a very...
Providence, and you have to...
Wrong corner. He went for a punch. The Psycho blocked it. In comes Mahler Ford, and Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans just opened up and uncorked on the Nightmare. The Psycho, for one, he's got it wrenched in tight. You can tell how he's got that head twisted. Beautiful move by the Nightmare. Almost got a 3 count. I saw the Psycho reach back and try to adjust his tights. The Nightmare possibly had a handful of.
Right now, the Psycho in charge of the match with a side headlock, and he's got a pair of 18-inch guns that he can put a little pressure on a headlock with, too, Nick.
Well, he's squeezing in tight on that side headlock. Masked Nightmare number 1 now makes it to his feet. He's in very tight. He's trying to put full force on that headlock. The Nightmare fires him off. Beautiful shoulder tackle. Sends the Nightmare crashing down hard on the mat and right back to that side headlock, the Psycho. Scoops him in back to his corner, tags in Richard Sartain. Sartain comes in, a couple of shots and right to the arm. Surprising change of attack. They were working on the arm. The Psycho went to the head. Now Sartain goes back to the arm. Of course, they had the head of the other Nightmare, so possibly this Nightmare was more vulnerable. I'll spit it out in a second. More vulnerable to the arm. Beautiful clothesline by Mahler Ford. Just leveled Richard Sartain. Scoops him up by the hair and gets Sartain in a very dangerous corner. Grabs a handful of hair, tags in his partner, the Masked Nightmare number 2. The Nightmare number 2 comes in. Mahler Ford opens him up, and the Nightmare delivers a shot right into the rib cage of Sartain. Fires him off into the ropes. Went for a backdrop. Beautiful sunset flip. Gets a 2 count. He didn't quite have him hooked very well, though, Rocky. Come over very nicely with the sunset flip, but the Nightmare came over crooked, and he had one leg stuck under him. Very hard to get both shoulders pinned down to the mat. However, Sartain, very crafty, traps the Nightmare in his corner, and you can see the Psycho right there had a handful of tights trying to keep the Nightmare number 2 stuck in that corner.
You know, Nick, I feel that Mahler Ford is doing his level best to make the Nightmares take him permanently into their organization. I just feel it. I'm not sure of it, but I think that's what he has in mind.
Been a very even bout back and forth. I'd have to maybe give the edge at this point to the Rock and Roll Rebel Richard Sartain and the Psycho. They seem to have had control, but from matches past, we know the Masked Nightmares, we know their style. They let people wrestle their offensive style, and they look for a mistake, they look for an opening, and then they usually capitalize on it. We're just about at that 5-minute mark. We are at the 5-minute mark. 5 minutes gone, 5 minutes. Very possibly an illegal switch there. Mahler Ford making a big mistake. He comes in complaining to the ref, and it gave the team of Sartain and the Psycho and Evans an opportunity to make another cute little move. Of course, you call it cute. Some of the fans like it, some don't.
It's definitely illegal, though, to change partners without making a tag, Nick.
Now, there's a legal
I don't
tag.
care who does it. It's illegal.
There's a shot to the arm of the Masked Nightmare. Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans bars up high on the arm. The Nightmare backs Evans into the rope, fires him off, went for a leapfrog and almost caught Evans with a knee right in the face. Evans backed off. The Nightmare come charging in. And Evans now with a couple of knees in the midsection. He was in a little bit too tight. It didn't look like he had a whole lot of authority on those 2 knees. Beautiful reversal. And the Nightmare just drills Greg Evans with an elbow. Stuns the Rock and Roll Rebel, tags in his partner. And that was just what I was talking about earlier. The team of the Nightmares, they let their opponents wrestle an offensive style. They let them initiate the attack. And they look for an opening. They look for a mistake. And when you make that mistake, sometimes, brother, it's all over because the Nightmares can capitalize big time on mistakes.
Well, they can do it very easily because the amount of wrestling knowledge that they have means that they can adapt to anyone's style or anyone else's knowledge. They are one of the best teams in professional wrestling. I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again.
Distraction by the Masked Nightmare number 1. He is a master at this. He knows the rules, and he knows how to use them to his advantage. Because it is the referee's job to keep the illegal men out of the ring. And as long as those men are trying to come in the ring, he's doing his job. Unfortunately, though, it leaves the other team wide open to work on a man who's completely vulnerable, such as right now Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans. He's very vulnerable to the 3-man attack. And should the referee's attention be diverted again, I'm sure they'll try the same tactics.
Well, the Masked Nightmare number 1 is certainly capable of inspiring athletes because look how many different partners he's taken and gone on to championship heights.
Mahler Ford in the ring now. Mahler Ford seems to fit in very well with the teamwork so far displayed by the Masked Nightmares as he delivers a serious blow to the lower back of Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans. Hooks him over for the cover, and Evans gets his feet on the ropes. We're going to have to cut away for a break here in just a minute. Stomp of the leg. Mahler Ford traps Evans. Doesn't let him escape down those ropes. Tags in the Nightmare. Sets him up. And now they're starting to go to work on the lower back of Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans. A lot of punishing forearms. Rock, we're getting very close. We're going to have to cut away to a break. Should anything happen, we'll let the wrestling fans know. We're going to keep the tape rolling. If anything happens, we'll have it on tape. We'll let you see what happens. Let's go right now to that break.
Number 1, they come out at night carrying germs and disease. They scurry all over your kitchen and crawl over food. You've tried smelly sprays to get rid of them, but look, roaches can smell too, so they avoid the sprayed areas and keep coming back. Now there's a solution. Roachkill, the amazing odorless powder with a double your money back guarantee. Write down this toll-free number to order. In scientific tests, the active ingredient in Roachkill proved 99.5% effective after one use, far superior to spray insecticides. It's easy to use. Just squeeze the powder in hiding places. Roachkill is odorless, so roaches don't avoid it. They walk through it and carry it back to their hidden nests. There it kills the whole colony.
Pick up your phone and call toll-free to order now. Get extra bottles for garages and basements. Most orders shipped in 24 hours. Order within 24 hours and get a free mystery gift. Call toll-free 1-800-648-6900 for COD or credit card orders. That's 1-800-648-6900 or mail $9.95 plus $3 shipping and handling.
This is an important message to all athletes, men and women. If you are interested in pursuing an exciting and lucrative career in the world of professional wrestling, then write down this number. The American Academy of Professional Wrestling offers the most progressive methods of cardiovascular training and weight training. Be trained by big-name professionals. Call now. You won't want to miss out on this great opportunity for a career in professional wrestling. Call the American Academy of Professional Wrestling. And don't forget, call right now.
The copper bracelet. Does it truly have the power of healing, of romance, of good luck? Or is the copper bracelet merely a legend of the gypsies? A group of Irish artists believed in the powers of the copper bracelet, only they thought it a bit drab. So they worked a bit of Irish magic, encased it in gold, and created the Delaune bracelet. Thousands upon thousands of Europeans have purchased a Delaune bracelet for $69.95. But now, thanks to American ingenuity, this very same Delaune bracelet can be yours direct from Ireland for only $39.95. Now you can put the powers of copper and gold into your love life, your health life, into all of your life for only $39.95. Here's how to order.
Just call our toll-free number, 1-800-262-9969, and charge it. Or send check or money order to Bracelet, P.O. Box 1, Lake Helen, Florida 32744. Please specify size, small, medium, large. Sorry, no CODs due to a limited supply. So call right now.
Not quite enough to keep the Rebel down. Side salto. Beautiful move by the Nightmare. Just goes to show you what kind of condition Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans is. He's a young man. He trains very hard. He's climbing in the ranks of Deep South professional wrestling, and he has taken a lot of punishment so far in this six-man tag match, Rock.
Almost more than you would figure any athlete could take, but that just shows the desire that Greg Evans has, and truly, he has enough desire to be called the Rock and Roll Rebel.
One, look, two, oh, so close. So close. Beautiful reversal. Greg Evans almost pulled an excellent victory out of his hat, but not quite enough to keep the Nightmare number 2 down. Nightmare fires him off, goes for a hip toss. Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans blocks it. He's going in for that backslide. He's got it. 1, 2, whoa, so close. He needs to get over there and tag, Rock. He's throwing every last thing, every last piece of artillery he's got at him. He's got a couple of very close pinfalls, but he's almost out of gas, Rock. He's taken a lot of punishment. He's going to have to get one of those fresh men in there, and he's going to have to do it here pretty soon.
He's made those moves strictly on instinct, Nick. He doesn't even know what he's doing anymore. If he can only get pointed in the direction of his corner, as you say, he needs to bring a fresh partner in there to relieve the pressure on him.
Very hard for one official to handle all the action that takes place in a regular tag match, let alone a six-man tag match, especially when you've got veterans like the Masked Nightmares in the ring. You've got a veteran like the Psycho in the ring. They know how to use all the rules to their advantage.
They know how to use all the moves to their advantage, and they even know how to use some of their opponents' moves to their advantage.
Absolutely right, Rock. As you see right now, the Nightmare number 1 gets that last little bit of punishment in. He had a 5 count, and he played it right out to that 5 count. It's been a trademark of the Masked Nightmares. Excellent, excellent teamwork. Look at this. The Nightmare looks like he's going for a pile driver. Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans trying to block it. He may have successfully blocked it, and he powers out. And he backdrops the Masked Nightmare number 2 over. The Nightmare is stunned. It looks like it knocked the wind out of him, but it took an awful lot out of Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans to be able to complete that move. A tag by the Nightmare. The Rock and Roll Rebel's trying desperately to tag, but he can't quite get there.
One of the Nightmares anchoring his leg, The other Nightmare putting a boot to his head, that would keep anybody from making the tag, Nick. And as you said before, it's hard for one official to stay on top of all that action.
Backbreaker, this could be it. No! So close. The Nightmare very unhappy with the count, but I can tell you from experience as a referee, that was a completely legal count. And Evans did kick out clearly before the 3 count. However, I think the Nightmare, that's part of his tactics to try and intimidate the referee as well as the opponent. But I can tell you right now, it's not going to work with Mike Atkins.
Right now, Greg Evans in a lot of trouble, but I give him credit. He hasn't gone for any cheap breaks trying to make it to the ropes. He hasn't crawled out of the ring. And a beautiful neck breaker. And if that doesn't finish him, I don't know what will.
We're starting to wind out of time. And Greg Evans is in big trouble. We're starting to close up here at the end of Deep South Championship Wrestling. We've got a few minutes left. But right now, it's looking pretty dim for the Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans, Richard Sartain, and the Psycho, because unless Evans can get out of that corner and muster his way over to his corner and create a tag situation to get either one of the men, either the Psycho or Sartain, in the ring, then they have a good chance of losing this match.
Right now, if I were a pessimist, Nick, I would say this match is all but lost to the team of Sartain, Evans, and the man they call the Psycho.
Evans desperately trying to make that tag. The Nightmare again playing the count to the very last second to his advantage. Big knee takes Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans down to the mat. And Mahler Ford brings him to his feet, backs him in the ropes. There's a clubbing forearm. Mahler Ford has Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans in serious trouble. Fires him off into the ropes. Sunset flip. Look at here. 1, 2. Woohoo. Look at that. That was so close. That was so close to a 3 count. There's a tag. Mahler Ford a little bit slow, and he allowed Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans to roll over there and make the tag to the fresh man. This is the break they needed. The Psycho, he comes in cleaning house. In comes Richard Sartain cleaning house. Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans has mustered up enough energy. He's back on his feet. He's back in the ring fighting. And now we've got all 6 men in the ring. It's turned into a Donnybrook. Referee Mike Atkins doing all he can to maintain control. A 3-way collision in the middle of the ring. Both Nightmares are sent out to the floor. Mahler Ford down to the middle of the ring. And the Psycho with that big diving headbutt. There's a cover on Mahler Ford. 3 count. Excellent victory for the Rock and Roll Rebel, Richard Sartain, and the Masked Psycho. As you see Mahler Ford down in the ring. Excellent victory for the team of the Psycho. Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans and Richard Sartain.
No! Life can be full of rejections and refusals. Don't you deserve something better? SureCard says sure. You deserve our Sure credit card. And right now, we're issuing a number in your area to people like you. Even if you've never had a charge account and can't get a credit rating, we'll issue you your very own Sure card. There'll be no embarrassing applications, no credit checks, and no refusal. You're sure to be approved, and you're sure to qualify. Now, your only cost is a one-time $20 processing fee, and we'll even bill you for that. Pay it, and you have the credit. Credit to get all kinds of wonderful things direct from SureCard. You don't need to own a home, open a bank account, or give a credit reference. Just pay on time and we'll increase your credit. Soon you could qualify to buy a VCR for just a few dollars a month. Charge a complete computer outfit or buy a brand new kitchen set on credit. And listen, a good Sure rating can be your reference for all those other credit cards you've always wanted. Store credit cards, gas credit cards, even bank credit cards you can use for cash. Even if you already have a Visa or MasterCard, ask for your Sure card and get more credit with no interest charges and no annual fees. Just fantastic products at fantastic prices. They're yours through this entirely new concept in credit, Sure card. But don't send any money. Just call now and we'll even bill you for the $20 processing fee. That's right. Order your Sure card and we'll give you immediate credit. That's for sure. Don't send any money. Just call 1-800-543-8800. We'll bill you for the one-time processing fee. Pay it and your Sure card is approved automatically, even if you've never had a credit card. Call now, 1-800-543-8800. That's 1-800-543-8800. And start building the credit rating you deserve.
Sean Joseph, age 32 years. Looks older, acts older. Sean Joseph 1 year later, looks younger, feels younger, more confident. The reason? The HRS step-by-step method, the most advanced hair replacement method ever devised. Definitely the most natural. Operators are standing by now.
For free information, call Hair Replacement Systems now at 1-800-453-6900.
Introducing Popeet, the amazing storage container that expands and collapses to fit the food to save the space. You create the size you need. Only 1 cup left. Look at the difference. Messy cabinets, Popeet is the ultimate space saver. You'll get 3-quart size Popeet, 3-quart and a half size pieces, 3 1/2-gallon pieces, and the giant half-gallon bottle. Now only $19.95. Use your credit card to order now.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-228-8400.
An all-star tribute.
WNEG 32 for you.
happening around here in Deep South Championship Wrestling. But all I got to say is one thing real quick and real sweet is Nightmare. What you tried to do to me, Nightmare number 2, on last week's TV taping didn't happen. You didn't get the job done. So I'm telling you right here tonight in the Battle Royal, me and my partner and a few other associates will get the job done. And if we don't, next week right here on Deep South Championship Wrestling, you got to meet me one-on-one, face-to-face, right here on Nashville TV, and baby, you going down. You know, Mr. Nightmare, as I look around the Deep South area, I see a bunch of copycats. All I see is copycats. There's Bambi's 1 and 2. There's all kinds of people copying each other. But all you see here is originality. You see Selena, the original doll. You see Randy Rose, the original Midnight Express. There's only one original Coca-Cola. There's only one original Fabulous Freebirds. And as of in Canton, the 23rd, they say they've changed the matches. They say Terry Gordy, the original Freebird, is coming up against Randy Rose for the Deep South Championship. That means a lot to me. It means fine women, fine cars, fine clothes, and everything fine in my life. So Terry Gordy, Canton, Georgia, 23rd, Fabulous, original, it doesn't matter. I'm the only original, she's the only original, and there's only one original Rose in the Deep South area.
Well, welcome to another edition of Deep South Championship Wrestling. We've just heard some words from the Nightmare number 1 and Randy Rose. I'm Nick Patrick, and joining me this week while Rock Hunter's away on vacation, we have the Assassin. As everyone can see, we have 8 contestants in the ring now. We're awaiting the other 8 to arrive, and we're going to be underway with a Battle Royal to start things off here this week on Deep South Championship Wrestling.
Well, Nick, you know, you guys are going to have 16 men in this Battle Royal for a prize of $5,000. And certainly, I think it's time that this thing got underway. Certainly, a Battle Royal is a very dangerous type event. And fact that you have 16 men in the ring, you know, you can always get blindsided, you can always get nailed when you're not expecting it, and that's what makes one of those, a battle royal such a dangerous event.
A lot of the wrestlers can't make it into the ring. I see the Nightmare number 1 and Nightmare number 2 are squared off with each other. Nightmare number 2 just putting some heavy-duty punches on Nightmare number 1, wearing him out at the moment. I see other wrestlers trying to make their way into the ring. Right now, very, very hard. Most of them are in there now. I see Evans and Sartain trying to make their way in, the Psycho. See a couple of new young men here. Their first appearance here on Deep South Championship Wrestling, the Night Riders. And we see now Randy Rose and the Masked Nightmare, number 1, over on Nightmare number 2. Nightmare number 2 fights his way loose. He goes to work on Randy Rose, his former partner, Nightmare number 1, cut him off from behind. Randy Rose nails him with a big right hand. A lot of action on the far side of the ring. The Psycho going to work on one of the Night Riders. Randy Rose on the Karate Kid. See the Super Destroyer on Greg Evans. Evans turns things around. Troy Aldridge on John Brewer. See Lee Scott kind of laid back in the corner watching things happen. He comes up and catches Sartain with a big shot. And it seems to me like Randy Rose and the Nightmare number 1 seem to be singling out his former partner. It seems they're trying to keep a 2-on-1 situation over in the corner. Would you say so?
That's what it certainly looks like, and it seems like they're having the cooperation of a lot of the other wrestlers trying to keep everybody away from what they're trying to do to Nightmare number 2. Now they're trying to take him and dump him out over that top rope. They've got him about halfway over.
Good to see Jim Boss back in action here on Deep South Championship Wrestling, recovering from an automobile accident. He seems to be doing pretty well. Nightmare number 1 just fights off the Nightmare. Nightmare number 2 fought off Nightmare number 1. Randy Rose comes charging in, pulls him into the corner. And they're back in that 2-on-1 situation again. Now the Psycho comes over. Whoa, Nightmare just cut the Psycho off pretty quickly. There goes Nightmare number 2. He's out, the first man out in the Battle Royal.
Mick, and that's a long, long, hard fall over that top rope down to that concrete floor.
A lot of action so far in the Battle Royal. 16 men. We're down to 15 as the Masked Nightmare number 2, the first man eliminated. He had it pretty rough from the get-go. He had 2 men on him the entire time. I think he lasted pretty well. Karate Kid just caught with a chop.
Well, Nick, I think that was a strategy of Randy Rose and the Nightmare number 1 is to key in and double team the Nightmare number 2 and to try to eliminate him early.
See Randy Rose now going to work on the Super Destroyer, Troy Aldridge, choking Greg Evans in the corner. Nightmare number 1 squaring off with the Psycho, exchanging blows. One of the Night Riders looks like he's tangled up with Dwayne Bruce over in the corner. The other Night Rider tangled up with Lee Scott. The action continues. We still only have at this point 1 man eliminated. Randy Rose just nailed the Psycho with a big clothesline over in the rope. Psycho still fights back, a kick to the midsection.
That Psycho, you know, he certainly isn't above bending or stretching the rules considerably when someone gets around close to that mask.
The Night Riders dumped Lee Scott over, and in the process of dumping Scott, Evans and Sartain dumped out the Night Riders. They had their attention. Both men were on Lee Scott, and Evans and Sartain dumped them right out. So that's 3 men eliminated at one time right there. 4 men so far have been eliminated. I believe we're down to 12. You can see Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans squared off now with the Super Destroyer. Doug Ogle in the ring with Troy Aldridge. Jim Boss just nailed the Karate Kid. Now look at the Psycho. He's really going to work on Randy Rose over here near the announcer's table. Those two have had a heated battle here throughout the past few weeks here on Deep South Championship Wrestling. You know, if he was going to try and pick a winner in this one, you'd have to try and pick maybe a couple of guys that would stick together. And you look, you've got Randy Rose sticking together with Nightmare 1. However, you've got the Psycho and Nightmare 2 sticking together. Nightmare 2's already been eliminated. You got Sartain and Evans sticking together, watching each other's back.
Those are those vicious chops thrown by Randy Rose and the Psycho. These guys are really going after each other.
Doug Ogle just jumped over the top.
You can see Jim Boss bleeding from the chest, and I think he may have been the recipient of a couple of chops. Randy Rose down in the corner. Now the Psycho with a boot in the throat, choking him out. We're going to cut away to a commercial break. We'll let you know what happens when we come right back. We're going to take a little break in the action, and as I said, should anything happen, we'll let you know what happened.
Elvis. It's Elvis Presley on home video.
Don't be cool.
Now you can own the King's historic comeback performance. Live on home video cassette. This is the Elvis you remember. No performer in the entire world was more loved than Elvis. Relive your Elvis memories with this unforgettable Elvis home video classic. You get 24 of the King's greatest hits, a full 75 minutes of rare Elvis concert footage in color. Purchase your own collector's copy of Elvis live in his 68 comeback specials for just $29.95.
Call toll-free 1-800-323-1400 or save COD charges by sending $29.95 plus $3.75 shipping to P.O. Box 30179, Department B, Bethesda, Maryland.
1964, London, England. The Beatles live. We proudly present this Sony video performance of The Beatles live. Now available on Sony videotape for you to enjoy at home. Song after historic song, including this rare cut, unavailable on any Beatles record. You know you make me wanna and Sony brings you all this on VHS or Beta. Order now.
Use your credit card and call toll-free 1-800-351-4700 or save COD charges by sending $19.95 plus $3.75 shipping to Beatles Video, P.O. Box 30179, Department B, Bethesda, Maryland.
Write down these important numbers. This is a public service announcement to all fundraising and non-profit-making organizations. Deep South Championship Wrestling has several plans to help you raise the funds that you need and bring exciting Deep South Championship Wrestling to your area. Call area code 404-477-2334 or 284-8599. Call weekdays 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Don't miss out on this great opportunity. Remember, 477-2334 or 284-8599.
Happening around here in Deep South Championship Wrestling, but all I got to say is one thing real quick and real sweet. It's Nightmare. What you tried to do to me, Nightmare number 2, on last week's TV taping, didn't happen. You didn't get the job done. So I'm telling you right here tonight in the Battle Royal, me and my partner and a few other associates will get the job done. And if we don't, next week right here on Deep South Championship Wrestling, you got to meet me one-on-one, face-to-face, right here on national TV, and baby, you going down. You know, Mr. Nightmare, as I look around the Deep South area, I see a bunch of copycats. All I see is copycats. There's Bambi's 1 and 2. There's all kinds of people copying each other. But all you see here is originality. You see Selena, the original doll. You see Randy Rose, the original Midnight Express. There's only one original Coca-Cola. There's only one original Fabulous Freebirds. And as of in Canton, the 23rd, they say they've changed the matches. They say Terry Gordy, the original Freebird, is coming up against Randy Rose for the Deep South Championship. That means a lot to me. It means fine women, fine cars, fine clothes, and everything fine in my life. So Terry Gordy, Canton, Georgia, 23rd, Fabulous, original, it doesn't matter. I'm the only original, she's the only original, and there's only one original Rose in the Deep South area.
The story that touched the world.
I'm keeping him.
Is finally coming home on video cassette. It's a story filled with laughter, love, and wonder. Steven Spielberg's E.T., the Extraterrestrial. Available on video cassette starting October 27th.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial will be priced at $24.95. Pepsi has a special $5 rebate with a qualified Pepsi purchase, lowering the price to only $19.95. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Bring him home to your home. To guarantee your E.T., advance sales can be made by calling 1-800-453-7200 or send $24.95 plus $4 shipping and handling to E.T., Box 135-A, Glenville Station, Connecticut. Absolutely no CODs accepted. E.T. will arrive after October 27th. Call now, 1-800-453-7200.
We're back, and nobody's been eliminated up to this point, but it looks as if the Super Destroyer is just about to go out. Evans and Sartain is on him. Here comes the Masked Nightmare. He's on Sartain. Looks like he's got Sartain. Now it looks as if the Nightmare and Randy Rose are on Greg Evans, and Evans is dumped over the top as well. Quite a few men being eliminated at this point now. Jim Boss just tossed Dwayne Bruce out over. Look at this. Dwayne hangs on, comes up, catches Boss, and Bruce takes Boss out, but he goes out as well. A lot of fight by Dwayne Bruce. He knew he was going over, but he took the man with him.
That was a beautiful move on the part of Dwayne Bruce. You know, that takes a superb athlete to be able to do something like that.
Karate Kid's been eliminated. Now we're down to 3 men in the ring. We've got Randy Rose, the Masked Nightmare #1, and the Psycho. And the strategy of these two men has paid off because they end up with just one man left between splitting $5,000, which I imagine is what they would do.
I would assume so, but you never know. You know, whenever there's that kind of money involved, you never know. Somebody might just turn on the other one.
Now you're talking about a greed factor too, and both of these men have been known to have that greed. Now look at this. The Nightmare's going after the Mask of the Psycho, and the Psycho just starts to come unleashed. He fights up from underneath, and now he's got Randy Rose down. He's firing the Nightmare. And Rose is down. The Nightmare went for a big punch. The Psycho ducked. Big atomic drop. Over the top rope goes the Masked Nightmare. Now there's 2 men left. Randy Rose and the Psycho. The Psycho backs Randy Rose in the ropes, fires him off. Beautiful power slam, and Randy Rose is down. Psycho hits the ropes. He comes off. Diving headbutt. I've seen him finish off a lot of men, and it looks like Randy Rose is really starting to favor those ribs. He goes for it again. The Nightmare from the outside grabs the feet. He's already been eliminated. Now it's a 2-on-1 situation again. The Nightmare, a man who has already been eliminated, on the scene. Randy Rose now starts to go to work on the Psycho. The referee over in the corner, kind of oblivious to the situation at this point. I'm not sure if he understands that the Nightmare's been eliminated or not. It looks like the Psycho's going to get a little help. Here comes the Nightmare #2. He's back in the ring. He gives Randy Rose a boot, a shot behind the head, and now he starts to open up on his former partner, the Nightmare #1. Nightmare #2 really starting to open up. He's starting to fire on these 2 men. In comes Jim Boss. Now we're into a 3-on-2 situation. I wonder when Jim Boss started getting tied up with the Masked Nightmare and with Randy Rose.
Well, you know, Jim Boss is a very eager individual, an individual that's very eager to try to further his career, and I think he probably figures that being associated or aligning himself with the likes of the Nightmare #1 and Randy Rose could possibly further his career.
3-on-2 situation. Something's going to have to be done. The referee may have to, he may have to signal for the bell. Look, Bambi's taking off back for the dressing room. Maybe she's going to get some help.
Well, they certainly need it at this point.
Look at this.
What is this? Who is this?
Another Psycho on the scene. And he looks exactly like the other Psycho.
Could there be 2 of them?
Another man that looks exactly like the Psychos just showed up on the scene, and I mean he is cleaning house. He goes to work on Randy Rose. Nightmare #2 going to work on his former partner, Nightmare #1. The Nightmare's out of the ring. Jim Boss is out of the ring. Now Randy Rose is trapped with all 3 men. The Nightmare #2 drives him into the corner. Rose ducks out, scoots out. He jumps over that top rope, and that eliminates Randy Rose right there. The referee in the ring.
Can you believe this? Look at those 2 guys. Nick, they look exactly alike.
I tell you what, I thought
body-wise and everything, they look just exactly alike.
I thought the Nightmares looked alike. These two look even more alike than the team of the Nightmares. Look at this, a Psycho and now a new man on the scene, and the referee raises the hand of the Psycho number 1. He has been declared the winner of this Battle Royal.
Roger Whittaker.
I watch you walk away beside the lucky guy. I saw the harbor.
Now you can enjoy the world-famous voice of Roger Whittaker in his all-new collection.
Memory, all alone in the moonlight. I'll be seeing you.
Remember, this beautiful all-new two-record treasury is not sold in any store.
Use your credit card and save COD charges by calling toll-free 1-800-826-1100 or send check or money order for $12.98 for albums or tapes to Roger Whittaker, P.O. Box 3410, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's Roger Whittaker, P.O. Box 3410, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Look closely, because this beautiful ring is about to become a beautiful watch. Introducing the luxurious Sato Time Ring. Both a beautiful ring and a precision quartz timepiece. The Sato Time Ring is exquisitely layered in your choice of genuine sterling silver or genuine 18-karat gold. Not for the hundreds of dollars you might expect, but for only this astonishing low TV publicity price. And wait, here's a special bonus. If you phone within the next 30 minutes, we'll let you order a second Sato Time Ring for only half price. So hurry.
To order, call toll-free 1-800-262-7757. That's 1-800-262-7757. Call now. 1-800-262-7757.
This is an important message to all athletes, men and women. If you are interested in pursuing an exciting and lucrative career in the world of professional wrestling, then write down this number. The American Academy of Professional Wrestling offers the most progressive methods of cardiovascular training and weight training. Be trained by big-name professionals. Call now. You won't want to miss out on this great opportunity. For a career in professional wrestling, call the American Academy of Professional Wrestling. And don't forget, call right now.
People out there, needless to say, I'm happy with the match that's just happened tonight. I want to tell you one thing. I have said time and time again that I will have something up my sleeve to keep Nightmare 1 and Randy Rhodes from back on my man's back all the time. Well, I have proven it now. We have Psycho 2 right here to join us, okay? We are going to be undefeated. Number 1, Nightmare 1, Randy Rhodes. Watch out, honeys. I've got a plan in store for you. Ain't that right?
That is exactly right, Miss Bambi. What two physical specimens are standing behind me, and the two Psychos. Well, they are always wanting to make the odds in their favor. If you'll take a look at the physiques on these two men, you might say that the odds are in our favor, I think. And I'm going to tell you what, Nightmare number 1, not yet on television have we had a match, me against you, man to man. We have not had it yet. Last week, it turned into a tag team. I want to challenge you to a match against me, no one else. I don't want anybody interfering. I want you in a single match on TV next week. Talk to him, baby.
That's right. I just want to say one more thing to you, Nightmare number 1 and Randy Rose. I've said time and time again, I'm sick and tired and sick and tired. Over and over I've said it, and over again I'll say it. But now I don't have to worry about that because now we have him.
Shawn Joseph, age 32 years, looks older, acts older. Shawn Joseph 1 year later, looks younger, feels younger, more confident. The reason? The HRS step-by-step method, the most advanced hair replacement method ever devised. Definitely the most natural. Operators are standing by now.
For free information, call Hair Replacement Systems now at 1-800-453-6900.
Introducing AmberVision, an amazing breakthrough in vision technology. AmberVision improves vision indoors, outdoors, day or night.
Everything is so much crisper and clearer.
I can't believe my own eyes. They're amazing.
AmberVision blocks 100% of dangerous ultraviolet light. You'll wear these high-fashion glasses all year long in one size fits all. Similar products sell for much more, but now you can order AmberVision for just $10. Seeing is believing with AmberVision.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-342-6600.
We're back with more great action here on Deep South Championship Wrestling. What a surprising revelation. Now Miss Bambi has brought on another Psycho. We have Psycho 1 and Psycho 2 and the Masked Nightmare number 2 joining forces, watching each other. And now we see Dr. Evil making his way into the ring, and he is accompanied at ringside by Peggy Lee Leather. And last week we saw an attack upon Bambi by Peggy Lee Leather. I'm talking a vicious attack.
It was a very devastating attack, and I'll tell you, anybody, especially any of the lady wrestlers around that take this Peggy Lee Leather lightly, they'd better stop and think again, because she isn't a person to be taken lightly. She's probably one of the toughest competitors I've ever seen. I see approaching the ring now is Dr. Evil's opponent, Tom Thumb, and look who's with Tom Thumb.
That's right. He's got Miss Bambi in his corner, and I think in view of what happened last week with the with Dr. Evil and Peggy Lee, it's a good thing he's got Bambi in his corner.
It very well could be. But this all, you know...
well, the ladies are squaring
off.
off.
A little confrontation out there on the floor. You know, anything can happen now.
The referee gets the two ladies separated and back to their corner, and we're about to get underway with this bout. There's the bell. Tom Thumb takes off the shirt, and we're ready to roll. Tom Thumb told us in the past couple of weeks he wanted a rematch with Dr. Evil in view of what happened, and he's got it right here on Deep South Championship Wrestling. And these two get after it. I mean, what a high-paced, high-intensity match. These two are excellent athletes. Dr. Evil comes crashing down with a body press across Tom Thumb, brings him right up, backs him in the ropes, and both of these men use the ropes very, very frequently.
You know, Nick, a lot of times people get the impression that these are childlike individuals and so on because of their demure stature. But nothing could be further from the truth. These are full-grown men, and believe me, they are strong, and they're powerful. They're in tremendous shape, and they also know how to wrestle. And you can see that Dr. Evil is kind of a nasty individual. I think, as Rock Hunter would say, he's my kind of guy.
Of course, Rock away on vacation this week. Dr. Evil looked like he may be going for the bite on the far side there. I couldn't really tell from this vantage point. But I know he was bent down there awful close. Can you tell there? It looked like he started to go for it again. Referee, evidently he did. The referee made him break the hold.
He was doing something illegal that I think was hidden basically from our view, but evidently it wasn't hidden from the referee's view.
Tom Thumb come right up after him, got a 2 count. They rolled through with it. Dr. Evil got another 2 count on Tom Thumb. Thumb goes to the front face. Beautiful takedown. Gets a 2 count out of it again. Tom Thumb, an excellent young wrestler. He can do a lot of scientific moves. Dr. Evil appears to be a bit more of a brawler than Tom Thumb, but Tom Thumb, he's a consummate little wrestler. He knows how to get in. Peggy Lee Leather now up on the apron, trying to create a distraction so Dr. Evil can take over, and he sure did. What communication between those two.
You know, it's a tremendous advantage for someone like Dr. Evil to have Peggy Lee Leather in his corner. And I'm sure that that's one of the reasons why Bambi is out here to assist, really not assist, but more or less to cheer on Tom Thumb. Oh, well, what a tremendous body slam.
Right on the arm, too. He had that arm trapped in a hammerlock. Gets a 2 count out of it, and you can see Tom Thumb is really registering with pain on that arm. Can't blame him. Whoa, a shot to the midsection. That second punch looked like it caught Dr. Evil right in the chest, right in the soul. Beautiful drop kick.
What a
Caught him
drop
right
kick.
in the face. Covered him. 1, 2 count. Dr. Evil kicks out, and Tom Thumb starts to make the move on Dr. Evil right here on Deep South Championship Wrestling. I'm very surprised he kicked out of that drop kick. That was one of the most devastating drop kicks I've seen in a while. I mean, he caught him right flush in the face. Peggy Lee takes a swipe at the legs of Tom Thumb. She didn't quite get a hold of him. Both men back up. Tom Thumb perhaps should have kept the attack going on at that point. I think he eased up a little bit. And look at this. Dr. Evil cut him off, backs him in the corner. Good reversal by Tom Thumb. He comes charging in, goes for that monkey flip, and Peggy Lee's hanging on to the legs. The referee saw it. He doesn't. Tom Thumb backs him in the corner and goes for it again. He should have whipped him into that far corner, I would think.
I think Peggy Lee did the exact same thing.
Well, I
think
think
she
he
held
should have
onto his
known.
trunks again. You know, that shows that Tom Thumb is a little bit inexperienced.
Dr. Evil taking over on Tom Thumb now. Just nails him. Looks like he's going for that suplex. He's got him up in the air. Look at this. Bambi comes in and gives a little help. I guess it's just even. Peggy Lee Leather. There's a 3 count. Peggy Lee Leather went for Tom Thumb 2 or 3 different times. The referee saw it and wouldn't allow it, and Bambi come in to complain, found herself there in the right place at the right time, and there's your winner, Tom Thumb, and Peggy Lee Leather don't look too happy about it. She goes for a big punch. Bambi ducks it, blocks it, and just nails her right in the chin. Peggy Lee Leather goes down and gets out of town quick. Falls into the chairs. Huh. I tell you what, Bambi's ready to get a little bit back from what happened last week. I can tell you that right now.
Well, Nick, that looks like a perfect example of what goes around comes around.
Exactly. I believe you're exactly right there. You know, Bambi saw the opportunity. Peggy Lee Leather slinging chairs. She's hot. But she tried twice, and the referee was right there on the spot, didn't let it go. Bambi took advantage of the situation, and Tom Thumb's your winner. We'll be back with more great action in just a few moments.
You give your hand,
The beautiful voice
and then you say goodbye.
of Roger Whittaker.
I watch you walk away beside the lucky guy. I saw the harbor.
Now you can enjoy the world-famous voice of Roger Whittaker in his all-new collection.
Memory, all alone in the moonlight. I'll be seeing you.
Remember, this beautiful all-new 2-record treasury is not sold in any store.
Use your credit card and save COD charges by calling toll-free 1-800-826-1100 or send check or money order for $12.98 for albums or tapes to Roger Whittaker, P.O. Box 3410, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's Roger Whittaker, P.O. Box 3410, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
We quit smoking.
We quit smoking. Well, I'm not smoking. And I didn't think anybody could do that.
Cigarette helps you break the nicotine addiction, and it works in as little as 7 days.
I smoked 43 years. I quit just like that.
I thought I was just going to go nuts wanting a cigarette. I never did. I was just wonderful.
5 packs a day for a while. I'm doing great now.
Didn't have the urge to eat anymore.
No way did I want to gain weight, and I was.
When they offered that money-back guarantee, I thought I just have to try it.
No matter how long you've been smoking, with Cigarette, you'll quit or your money back. Guaranteed.
Tell them to do what I did. Just order it.
I'd say pick up that phone like I did and call the toll-free number.
Order your cigarettes now. Call 1-800-453-3308 or send $19.95 plus $4 postage and handling to Cigarette, Box 20, Department C, Los Angeles, California. Or call toll-free 1-800-453-3308.
Joining me now, the young man we've just seen in action, Tom Thumb, and he was accompanied at ringside by Bambi. Last couple of weeks, a lot of things have happened. You wanted a rematch with Dr. Evil. Evidently, you got it. You're very fortunate to have Bambi in your corner this evening.
Yeah, that's all I want to say. I want a rematch with Dr. Evil, and I got it, and I pinned him. So.
That's right. As I said, you're very lucky to have Bambi in your corner with you this week. Again, Peggy Lee Leather a couple of times tried to pull the legs from the outside, and she come up to let the referee know what was going on and happened to be in the right place at the right time, and ended up being very fortunate for you.
Well, I tell you what, 2 weeks ago on TV, he had a match with Dr. Evil, and I don't think he got a fair shake at it. He lost the match, and he lost the match because Peggy Lee came out to ringside. She don't have any business coming out to ringside interfering in his match. So I knew he was wrestling tonight, so he asked me to be in his corner. I just come out to be in his corner, and luckily she was going to do it again. I caught her. I tell you what, Peggy Lee, next week on Deep South, you better get ready, because I got you in a match. And if it takes everything I got, I'm going to beat you.
That's right. Right here next week, we're going to see Bambi against Peggy Lee. Now, last week we saw a vicious attack. Peggy Lee getting involved with Dr. Evil and Tom Thumb's match. You come out to let the referee know what was going on. I believe the referee reversed the decision, and Peggy Lee Leather attacked you from behind. And as I said, it was a very vicious attack. And how are you feeling after that attack?
Well, I didn't feel too good, but let me tell you, it just made the fire burn just hotter. Peggy Lee, like I said before, if it takes everything I got, I'm going to kick your can.
No, no, no. Life can be full of rejections and refusals. Don't you deserve something better? SureCard says sure. You deserve our Sure credit card. And right now, we're issuing a number in your area to people like you. Even if you've never had a charge account and can't get a credit rating, we'll issue you your very own Sure card. There'll be no embarrassing applications, no credit checks, and no refusal. You're sure to be approved, and you're sure to qualify. Now, your only cost is a one-time $20 processing fee, and we'll even bill you for that. Pay it, and you have the credit. Credit to get all kinds of wonderful things direct from SureCard. You don't need to own a home, open a bank account, or give a credit reference. Just pay on time, and we'll increase your credit. Soon you could qualify to buy a VCR for just a few dollars a month. Charge a complete computer outfit, or buy a brand new kitchen set on credit. And listen, a good Sure rating can be your reference for all those other credit cards you've always wanted. Store credit cards, gas credit cards, even bank credit cards you can use for cash. Even if you already have a Visa or MasterCard, ask for your Sure card and get more credit with no interest charges and no annual fees. Just fantastic products at fantastic prices. They're yours through this entirely new concept in credit, Sure card. But don't send any money. Just call now and we'll even bill you for the $20 processing fee. That's right. Order your Sure card and we'll give you immediate credit. That's for sure. Don't send any money. Just call 1-800-543-8800. We'll bill you for the one-time processing fee. Pay it and your Sure card is approved automatically, even if you've never had a credit card. Call now, 1-800-543-8800. That's 1-800-543-8800. And start building the credit rating you deserve.
More great action here on Deep South Championship Wrestling. We're about to see the Deep South Heavyweight Tag Team Champions in action. We see their opponents making their way to the ring right now. First, from parts unknown, weighing in at 230 pounds, we have the Super Destroyer. And his partner this week, a young man who's very, very strong. He's coming along in the ranks of Deep South Championship Wrestling, and now I've noticed himself involved with Randy Rose and the Masked Nightmare a little bit, is Jim Boss. He's from Chattanooga, Tennessee. He weighs in at 245. And now making the way to ringside, the Deep South Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. First at 235 from the heart of Dixie, Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans and his partner from Stevenson, Alabama, weighing in at 234. Here's Richard Sartain. Should be an excellent bout. The referee now getting both teams getting one man out on the apron. He signals for the bell, and we're ready to roll.
That's certainly a beautiful robe that Jim Boss has on, Nick.
I know Boss gets a lot of attention everywhere he goes. He's got a tremendous physique, very confident, very cocky type of individual. He's just one of those kind of guys that draws attention.
Well, he has a right to be confident and cocky. He's got a lot of ability. He's got a tremendous physique. You know, he was a nationally ranked power lifter. He's one of the young lions, I would say, in professional wrestling today.
Richard Sartain, one half of the Deep South Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, with a side headlock on the Super Destroyer. Beautiful shoulder tackle. The Destroyer goes down hard, drops down, Sartain off the rope. The Destroyer went for a hip toss. Reversal by Richard Sartain. Takes the Destroyer right over. Destroyer come up. Sartain traps the head, bulls him into the ropes. Very close to his partner. Right now, Sartain is wrestling a controlled game.
Yeah, Super D was trying for an arm drag there, but it was real nicely blocked by Sartain. You know, the Sartain is a big, tall, rangy athlete, and he not only knows a lot about professional wrestling, but he is deceptively quick.
Beautiful leapfrog by Sartain into a high leg drop, and the Super Destroyer comes crashing down hard on the mat. Beautiful drop kick by Sartain, and Sartain is just launching an offensive. I'd spit it out in a second.
Yeah, sometimes your tongue gets wrapped around your teeth there. But you're absolutely right. He was launching a tremendous offensive maneuvers right there, and Super D, I thought he should have tagged out. I think Super D made a mistake. He was in the corner with Jim Boss, had an opportunity to tag and didn't do so, and now he's on the short end of the stick again.
Good teamwork by Evans and Sartain. A double twist on the arm into a chop right before the legal count. They made it by about a 4 count. Evans steps into the side headlock on the Super Destroyer, and the Destroyer pulls him into the corner. Goes downstairs with a couple of right hands, a couple right to the jaw, and the Super Destroyer starts to go to work on Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans. The referee trying to back him up, and he's right back in there with some more shots to the jaw. You hear the crowd here in Jackson, Georgia starting to get behind Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans. Shot to the midsection, an elbow to the top of the head, and Evans starts to fight out of it. In comes Boss. He gets caught with an elbow. Boss a little bit hesitant about coming in. He come in, he got nailed with that elbow. He slowed down. Then he turned around, and Evans caught him with a right hand, and he took off.
Well, Boss looked a little indecisive when he came in the ring. I don't think he was sure whether he wanted to be in there or not when he saw that look in Greg Evans' eye.
Now Boss gets tagged in, and we're going to take a look at the young man from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Power lifter, very strong, and the two in the ring have got a little history of flaring up at each other whenever they get in the ring with each other. That's Boss and Sartain. We've seen it the very first time I ever saw it was the Deep South Heavyweight Tournament, the last one held at Cobb Fair.
I remember the incident well. As a matter of fact, I believe they got into it before the tournament ever started. They had a drawing in the ring, and they drew each other, and I think they started battling back and forth, or banning back and forth verbally, and then it broke into a physical confrontation.
Boss with a couple of forearms on Sartain. Goes the backdrop, Sartain. Sartain comes through, lands on his feet, and comes back and just clotheslines Jim Boss. Beautiful move by Richard Sartain. One step ahead of Jim Boss in that instance. Traps the arm, sets up his partner, Greg Evans. Beautiful. Teamwork really, really starting to gel between these two. It's going to be very, very hard for a team to come in and beat Evans and Sartain.
These guys look better and better and better every time I see them in action.
Sartain now backs Boss into the corner. Goes for that Irish whip out. Good reversal by Boss. Boom! Sartain comes out, and Boss just leveled him with a clothesline. Boss now in control. Shot to the head. Brings Sartain over to his corner. Tags in the Super Destroyer. Sartain starts to fight out of it. Destroyer a little bit slow coming in. Sartain fought out of it. And he goes back to work on the Destroyer. Tags in Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans. Once again, Sartain scoops him up and slams him. Look at this move. Whoa, right across the throat. There's your cover. 1,
2, and a 3 count. And your winners and still the Deep South Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Richard Sartain and Rock and Roll Rebel Greg Evans. We're going to hear a few words from Sartain and Evans coming up here in just a few moments.
You give your hand,
the beautiful voice,
and then you say goodbye.
Of Roger Whittaker.
I watch you walk away beside the lucky guy. I saw the harbor.
Now you can enjoy the world-famous voice of Roger Whittaker in his all-new collection.
Memory, all alone in the moonlight. I'll be seeing you.
Remember, this beautiful all-new two-record treasury is not sold in any store.
Use your credit card and save COD charges by calling toll-free 1-800-826-1100 or send check or money order for $12.98 for albums or tapes to Roger Whittaker, P.O. Box 3410, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's Roger Whittaker, P.O. Box 3410, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
The copper bracelet. Does it truly have the power of healing, of romance, of good luck? Or is the copper bracelet merely a legend of the gypsies? A group of Irish artists believed in the powers of the copper bracelet, only they thought it a bit drab. So they worked a bit of Irish magic, encased it in gold, and created the Delaune bracelet. Thousands upon thousands of Europeans have purchased a Delaune bracelet for $69.95. But now, thanks to American ingenuity, this very same Delaune bracelet can be yours direct from Ireland for only $39.95. Now you can put the powers of copper and gold into your love life, your health life, into all of your life for only $39.95. Here's how to order.
Just call our toll-free number, 1-800-262-9969, and charge it. Or send check or money order to Bracelet, P.O. Box 1, Lake Helen, Florida 32744. Please specify size, small, medium, large. Sorry, no CODs due to a limited supply. So call right now.
Talk to all of Georgia out there and all these Jackson fans. We got a lot of things going on, but the Deep South heavyweight champions are right here. We're rocking and rolling and strutting and strolling like ever. And I want to tell you, I've had a lot of partners. This man right here has got more guts than anybody I ever met in my life. And he's got a little something he wants to say here to a certain few individuals.
You know, Greg, they keep coming. But have you noticed they keep leaving, too?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, Randy Rose, take a good listen to what we're about to tell you, brother. We got a little surprise by the name of Bam Bam Gordy, if you know what I mean.
Terry Gordy, you know the man, you've seen him before. Fabulous Freebirds. Terry Gordy's going to be here, and I want all these Jacksons fans to know that we're going to be back here next week. But the following week after that, Terry Gordy will be here. He'll also be here in Canton the 23rd, and I just want to say a few things for Mr. Boss. You know, we faced you a few times, and we ain't beat you yet, because you always seem to be out of the way when it gets down and dirty. Well, boss, me and you, or you and this man, are going to meet up. And when we do, I guarantee you, it ain't going to be our shoulders going to the ground. And one more time, for old Dixieland, I want to hear it from pillar to post. Everybody out there, one time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Rock and roll's coming for you.
The story that touched the world.
I'm keeping him.
Is finally coming home on video cassette. It's a story filled with laughter, love, and wonder. Spielberg's E.T., the Extraterrestrial. Available on video cassette starting October 27th.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial will be priced at $24.95. Pepsi has a special $5 rebate with a qualified Pepsi purchase, lowering the price to only $19.95. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Bring him home to your home. To guarantee your ET, advance sales can be made by calling 1-800-453-7200 or send $24.95 plus $4 shipping and handling to ET, Box 135-A, Glenville Station, Connecticut. Absolutely no CODs accepted. ET will arrive after October 27th. Call now, 1-800-453-7200.
We're back with more great action. In that last match, the Deep South Tag Team Champions sure looked in fine tune.
I'll tell you what, I think they're one of the finest tag team combinations I have seen in many, many a day. Nick, here's a surprise. This match, this man wasn't scheduled. This is, well, it's one of the Psychos. I can't tell which one.
I'm not sure. I've been handed a note here. This is Psycho 2. This is the new man on the scene. So we have Lee Scott from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, who takes over right away. Referee signals for the bell, and Lee Scott figures if he's going to get his, he better get it right away. And look at him. He is taking off. What an attack on the Psycho. Forearms and boots, arm whips him out. Beautiful turnbuckle. Lee Scott follows it up with a big elbow. Lee Scott all over the Psycho at this point, and the Psycho starting to fight back. A big forearm. Whoa. I tell you, he must have had a lot of authority in that forearm because that cut Lee Scott off pretty quick. Big clothesline. Scott goes down, and the Psycho is starting to turn the tide of this battle. Lee Scott took over right away. Look at the Psycho. Scoops him up, slams him down hard on the mat. A boot between the shoulder blades. The Psycho really starting to take control of this match. He looks like his partner. He can take a lot of punishment. Gets a 2 count on Lee Scott. He can take it, and then after he takes it, he can still dish it out.
Well, Nick, if this building had a basement, I think that Lee Scott would have found it when he got slammed there by the Psycho number 2 here just a second ago.
Psycho fires Lee Scott off. Backdrop. Scott goes up in the air, comes down hard. And Miss Bambi in the corner of the Psycho. Look at the physical structure of this man. Looks almost identical to his partner, the other Psycho. Lee Scott up again. What a lot of fire in this.
Yeah, you got to hand it to Lee Scott. You know, he keeps in there, he keeps hanging in there, and he keeps firing away. He's throwing everything he's got at this guy, and he isn't backing up a bit. He's got a lot of guts.
He's throwing everything but the kitchen sink. And the Psycho in the corner. Psycho may be in a little bit of trouble here. Young Lee Scott, look at this. The Psycho starting to storm around the ring. Miss Bambi very concerned. The first appearance of her man, the Psycho, here on Deep South Championship Wrestling, other than the ambush, or I say ambush, other than just watching the back of his partner. You've always got to watch the back of your partner when you have some kind of confrontation with Nightmare 1 and Randy Rose. Those two are thicker than thieves, and whenever you see one, you're going to see the other somewhere nearby. What a shot by the Psycho. Forearm across the back. Another one right to the base of the skull, and Lee Scott is staggered.
Those are like clubs, Nick. Just like a sledgehammer club, and you're right in the back of the neck.
Lee Scott again comes charging out of the corner. He sat down, he got that second win, and boy, he comes charging out like a house on fire.
Well, there again, let me say it one more time. Lee Scott's got a lot of guts because he isn't backing up from anything or anybody.
He's pouring it on. He's doing exactly what he was taught at the American Academy of Professional Wrestling. You never quit. You keep pouring it on, and right now he's giving this new Psycho all he can handle. Whoa, what a shot by the Psycho.
What a club. There's those clubs again. Look at the arms on that Psycho.
He's a monster. He's a big, big man, very powerfully built. About the same height as the other Psycho. Both built like a couple fire plugs.
Oh, really?
Lee Scott
tremendous physical stature on both of the Psychos.
Once again, look at this Lee Scott. I mean, this kid's got guts. Win, lose, or draw, he's got to be proud of himself, the way he's come out and kind of showing. Look at that power slam by the Psycho. Psycho, too, set him up with that power slam. Whoa, what a headbutt. Right to the collarbone area. 2, 3 count. There's the bell. And there's your winner with his first appearance in singles competition here on Deep South Championship Wrestling, the Psycho number 2.
Sean Joseph, age 32 years. Looks older, acts older. Sean Joseph 1 year later. Looks younger, feels younger, more confident. The reason? The HRS step-by-step method. The most advanced hair replacement method ever devised. Definitely the most natural. Operators are standing by now.
For free information, call Hair Replacement Systems now at 1-800-453-6900.
Introducing Popeat, the amazing storage container that expands and collapses to fit the food to save the space. You create the size you need. Only 1 cup left. Look at the difference. Messy cabinets, Popeat is the ultimate space saver. You'll get 3-quart size Popeat, 3-quart and a half size pieces, 3 1/2-gallon pieces, and the giant half-gallon bottle. Now only $19.95. Use your credit card to order now.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-228-8400.
Shake up your VCR. Wake up your TV. Here's the home video you've been waiting for. Dick Clark's Best of Bandstand. More than a dozen bandstand classics now on home video. Featuring Bill Haley, Dion and the Belmonts, the Silhouettes, and of course, Chubby Checker. Dick Clark's Best of Bandstand, now on home video. To get yours, just pick up the phone and order now.
Use your credit card and call toll-free 1-800-342-4800 or save COD charges by sending $29.95 plus $3.75 shipping to Bandstand Video, P.O. Box 30179, Department B, Bethesda, Maryland. Call 1-800-342-4800 for your Best of Bandstand now.
You know, there's a lot of things happening. The one thing I don't seem to understand myself personally, and I'm sure Mr. Rose doesn't, is where the psycho comes from, this other psycho. But it don't make no difference. You know, I am the man, the master of bringing in people that look alike. So you just sit back and hide, and I may bring in somebody that looks alike myself. But it don't make no difference to me. Jackson, Covington, Winder, Canton, Jordan, Terry Gordy. You think Deep South, you've done something to come up against the Deep South heavyweight champion. You bring in Terry Gordy. You bring them all in, because it don't make no difference to myself, and it sure don't make no difference to the Deep South heavyweight champion, Mr. Randy Rose.
You know, Mr. Nightmare #1 is just like I said before earlier on this tape. There's copycats everywhere. There's no originals around. There's Bambi's 1 and 2. Now, there's Psychos 1 and 2. And there's Freebirds coming in now. Terry Gordy, you want to come in for this? You come right ahead. Bring the rest of the Freebirds. It don't matter, because like I said before earlier, there's only one original Coca-Cola. There's only one original Midnight Express. And there's only one original Randy Rose. And there's only one Nightmare. That goes for you, Nightmare 2. And I'm telling you, wherever I may be, Nightmare will be right behind me. You all can take that to the bank. As I said one more time, Terry Gordy, you are a pseudo-Freebird. You are an original.
The copper bracelet. Does it truly have the power of healing, of romance, of good luck? Or is the copper bracelet merely a legend of the gypsies? A group of Irish artists believed in the powers of the copper bracelet, only they thought it a bit drab. So they worked a bit of Irish magic, encased it in gold, and created the Delaune bracelet. Thousands upon thousands of Europeans have purchased a Delaune bracelet for $69.95. But now, thanks to American ingenuity, this very same Delaune bracelet can be yours direct from Ireland for only $39.95. Now you can put the powers of copper and gold into your love life, your health life, into all of your life for only $39.95. Here's how to order.
Just call our toll-free number, 1-800-262-9969, and charge it. Or send check or money order to Bracelet, P.O. Box 1, Lake Helen, Florida 32744. Please specify size, small, medium, large. Sorry, no CODs due to a limited supply. So call right now.
First, I'd like to thank the Assassin for joining me this week while riding. A lot of great action this week. We started off with a big 16-man over-the-top rope battle royal. Of course, the Psycho come out victorious in that match. And what a surprise Miss Bambi had for Randy Rose and for the Masked Nightmare.
Sure did. You know, I can't believe the resemblance. It's almost uncanny, the resemblance between the Psycho 1 and the Psycho 2. And, you know, something else that I think is really bothering Randy Rose, and it seems to be bothering the Nightmare number 1, is the fact that Deep South Championship Wrestling has secured a contract on the fabulous Freebird Terry Gordy, and his first appearance is going to be on the 23rd in Canton, Georgia, and actually he's going to be going up against Randy Rose, and certainly I think Randy Rose is concerned about it, and I think that Nightmare number 1 is doubly concerned.
I understand Terry Gordy will be making his way to Covington and here to Jackson as well. Stay tuned right here next week for more great Deep South action.